time is 10:27 a.m. Good morning. The news headline: Oil revenue, Nigeria's economy about to collapse. Ex-Emir Sanusi raises alarm. The news in full. A former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and immediate past Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi, has raised the alarm that the Nigerian economy is about to collapse totally. He said that the goose laying the golden egg for Nigeria is about to die. The Emir, who spoke at the closing of the Kaduna Investment Summit tagged CAD-Invest 6.0 Friday, said that aside that Nigeria was having difficulties in oil production, the product was being rejected in the global market as there was no future in carbon. The former CBN governor, who pointed that the future lied in a knowledge-based economy, which is the theme of the summit, however, lamented that Nigeria was behind many African countries in terms of innovation index ranking 104th globally. Noting that Ghana, with a smaller economy, had invested more in education, he lamented that Nigeria spent only 7% of its budget in that direction, saying that only 8 of every 100 Nigerians who start primary school complete university. According to him, globally, work is being redefined. 30 to 40% of workers in developed economies will need to significantly upgrade their skills by 2030. And what are the major drivers of this redefinition? ICT and remote working, which we have seen even here with COVID-19. There is increased automation and artificial intelligence. Very soon, robots will take over work in most countries, and those who would have job are those who operate the robots, manufacture the robots, or service the robots. Meanwhile, the state government said that it would be introducing ICT skills in vocational institutes and also in primary and secondary schools across the state. Governor Nasir El-Rufai, in an interview at the summit, said his administration believed that future of job in the world would be digital. And the news analysis is that the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and one-time Emir of Kano State, that is Mohammed Sanusi, is concerned about the economy of Nigeria, which is actually dwindling for quite a while now, and he was invited for a CAD-Invest edition, which is their 6.0, on a Friday, where they were talking about the Kaduna Investment. So we were talking at the Kaduna Investment Summit, and he was talking about the problems Nigeria is facing in terms of oil production, and also that there was no future for carbon, because remember that President Muhammadu Buhari was saying that they actually want to channel energy on carbon, to invest on it and the likes like that. And the former governor is pointing out that even Ghana, that is actually smaller than us, that they invest more in education, unlike Nigeria, that we do not really invest in education, saying that while Ghana was giving a whole lot of percentage to their education, Nigeria was only giving about 7% of their budget to education, saying that only 8 of every 100 Nigerians who start primary school used to graduate, that is, finish up to university, and that 30% to 40% of workers in developed economies would actually need to, upgrade their skills by 2030, because very soon it seems that the world is very going digital, and only people that are actually doing information communication technology, that is ICT, digital-based work, and those people that work remote, that is people that work from home, are actually the ones that actually will favored by the time the nation, the global nation, actually advance from this level of work. And seeing that, because we can see now that everything is now technology-based, automation, AI, that is artificial intelligence, and it's very obvious that very soon robots will be taking charge, and only people that are servicing the robots and are manufacturing it are likely to have jobs as at then. So the state government, although as in Kano State there, and also Governor El-Rufai was talking about introducing ICT skills in vocational institutes and also in primary and secondary school level, so that these children can actually have this basic knowledge for the future of the world, which is actually going digital, now, because everything now, if we are not careful and we are not advancing just like the every side of the nation is actually advancing, then there is all possibility that we might actually be set aside. And remember that Emir sometimes some years ago was also talking about our Nigerian government causing the economic recession that we are experiencing today. And then it was remembered he actually cautioned the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, where he warned them to avoid repeating the same mistakes made by former President Goodluck Jonathan, so that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari would not end up in infamy. And it seems that because the advice then was not taken and all those precautions were not taken, it is quite happy now, because then he was given the warning too while delivering a paper entitled Nigeria in Search of New Growth Model at the 15th meeting of the Joint Planning Board and National Council on Development Planning, where the Emir spoke extensively on the nation's economic recession, and he talked a whole lot about what the government should do. He even said that he will start by going back to the past and not just Nigeria but Africa, saying that we need to ask ourselves what were the key drivers of the growth in Africa and what has changed since the golden decade Africa had. And he's saying that the first pillar of the growth was clearly shifting terms of trade, which, as we all know in developing economics, can be a mirage. He said you can't have improving terms of trade when you're exporting commodities over short periods of cycle. But we know as far back as 1950s from the Latin American structural economics that over the long term, any economy that specializes in exporting primary products and importing manufactures would end up having terms of trade shifting against it. So you can only have a temporary boost, but if you don't use that boost to have a structural adjustment, that will make for prudent management of the economy, you will be caught in trouble. And that is what it seems that we are facing now, because it says then that by 2008, 1 barrel of oil would buy you one Sanyo flip telephone, as against 19 barrels of oil to buy you the same phone earlier. And then this gives us the idea how well the terms of trade has actually shifted. And he also warned that the problem is that there is nothing that we are facing today that we did not know would happen, and that is the truth. He said we had made mistakes, but most of the mistakes that we made in the country are actually deliberate, because we ignore every single word that pointed otherwise, saying that economic is a science. It is not a perfect science, but over decades and decade century, people have actually seen that there are certain things that when you do them, it will lead to certain consequences. And hopefully, because he had warned then and it is now happening, because he warned this sometimes around 2016, and now it is happening in 2021. And if care is not taken again, as per the advice given to the government, that the Nigerian economy is about to collapse and we need to change our concept of doing things, especially going digital, then we might fall in the same trap again if care is not taken. Thanks for listening. Good morning.